This is an opportunity for you as a leader to even go to the next level, because they'll be like, oh, wow, he looked at that, said, I'm wrong, and I'm going to make that right. You built even more trust with your people. Hi, my name's Devon. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way. I only know the hard way. Hey everyone, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast, where I give straightforward advice to fuel the entrepreneur in all of us. Today I want to talk to each one of you about how important it is to have trust as the leader in whatever you're running, whether you're the CEO, whether you're the leader of a division at a company, whether you're the leader of your house, whatever it is that you're leading, how important it is that you have trust. And I say trust, not perfection, because this paralyzes us oftentimes as leaders, is that we think I'm the leader, therefore I need to be perfect. I need to be right every single time. Otherwise people won't trust me. And that's not true. And I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened this week with one of my CEOs. First off, let me tell you, this CEO is extremely trustworthy. The people love him. They enjoy working for him. And over time, he has really built trust. He's very clear in what he's trying to accomplish. And he's very transparent. And he's very open. And will have dialogue. He doesn't always do what people want him to do. You know, he does what he thinks is right, but he has built a level of trust. And this week I met with him, and he had a high degree of anxiety around rolling out a new comp plan. And first, let me tell you, I think you should have anxiety, right? Like, that's very difficult. Like, whenever you're messing with people's pay, that's what they feel like is happening. They're messing with my pay, right? They're screwing with my comp, right? And so everyone gets very defensive, and rightfully so. I don't blame the people. I think they should be defensive and a little leery, and definitely, watching out and making sure that they're not being taken advantage of. And so he was very conscious of this, right? And he was talking to me about this, and he's like, well, Devon, he goes, I've looked at these numbers, and I've worked at it, and we've worked at it, and I've gone over it over and over again. And he goes, I think it's right, but who knows? I may have made a mistake on this. There's like 60 or 50. I don't even know how many people were affected by this, but he's like, there's a lot of people affected. And I tried to go through all the scenarios, but I might have made a mistake. And I said, oh, dude, listen, don't worry. You definitely made a mistake. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, there's no way. Like, there's no way you can redo an entire comp plan for that many people and be exactly right on every time on everything. And he's like, well, why is that going to make me feel better? I said, dude, it's going to make you feel better because you have trust with the people. And I say, do they understand what you're doing? He's like, well, I think so. He goes, I feel like I've been very transparent in telling everyone, listen, we're trying to make this comp plan right for everybody, because there are people that it's just not right. It's just not even the work, what people are paid for their work. And so we're trying to make it right. And I said, and within that, I think the way it's worked out is actually the company is probably going to actually be paying out overall more. Is that correct? And he's like, yeah. And I said, have you communicated that? And he's like, yeah, I've really communicated that. And I said, and you have trust? And he said, yeah. And I said, roll it out. Roll it out. If you're 80% accurate and you get 80% of it right, you're lucky. He's again like, that gives me anxiety. I said, I know, because you're pursuing perfection, right? And as a leader, you should pursue perfection. So I was happy that he cared that much. But that pursuit of perfection can't paralyze you from something that needs to be done. And I'm like, does this need to get done? He goes, oh yeah, it needs to get done now. He's like, it's the start of the month. We've been telling people, now's the time. I said, great, roll it out. And at the same time, I want you to be totally transparent with everybody. They trust you. Let them know, hey, I have worked long and hard on this. I believe it treats you fairly. If you see it and it doesn't treat you fairly, let's talk about it. because you know what my intention is. My intention is just to make this fair and right size. And if it's not fair and it's not right size, come to me and we'll talk. And he's like, okay. And I said, but here, I'm going to throw a wrench in it. I go, I said you'd be 80% right. So 10% of the time you're going to maybe have shorted people, but 10% of the time you might have actually blown it up and given way too much. And it's kind of unfair the other way. And I said, what's beautiful about this is because you've built this trust and because you've presented it in this way, and because people know who you are, they know what your intention is. If you've accidentally given too much, you even have the right to go to them and say, ooh, whoops, sorry. We actually overgave. I need to peel this back a little bit. And I said, that's what a great leader is, because we think a great leader is right and perfect every time. And that's not true. A great leader will strive for perfection. They desire perfection, but they won't be paralyzed by that perfection. They will do what needs to be done. They will take the steps that need to happen. And they will have open lines of communication and trust with their people so that when you do make a mistake, you get grace from the people and favor from the people so that you can actually go back and make those things right. And here's what I said. This is what's great. I said, and when you do this, actually, when they see that you've made mistakes and they see that you went and corrected them, if you've already have a high level of trust, think about how high your level of trust goes. It actually goes to the next level. This is an opportunity for you as a leader to even go to the next level, because they'll be like, oh, wow, this person said something. He did it. He realized it's not what he had promised. I had the courage to go to him. He looked at that, said, I'm wrong, and I'm going to make that right. Now you've built even more trust with your people and those that, you're leading every single day. And again, it doesn't mean that you're always going to agree, but you're going to have this level of trust that people go, you know what? Even though I disagree with him, I trust him as a leader. And listen, if you're, like I said, the leader of your household, this works with your children, right? And this works whether you're leading, your HOA, or whether you're leading at, your church, or you're leading your business, or maybe you're the captain of your team, whatever it is. Like this type of leadership style, this transparency where you're pursuing perfection, but you're transparent, humble enough to allow people to say, hey, this isn't working, let's change, is the type of leader that people want to follow, the type of leader that's effective, and a type of leader that doesn't become paralyzed because you're not sitting around not making decisions because you're so worried about being perfect. This will free you, and it will make your people even trust you more. I'm Devon. This is the Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast. Get this, and it will help you.